Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk has been shot and killed.
Charlie Kirk was more than just a name in politics. He was a force, a young man who rose from humble beginnings to become the voice of a generation seeking answers, seeking conviction. He built Turning Point USA into a movement, rallying students, sparking debates, and challenging the tides of culture. Loved by many, criticized by others, he stood boldly at the intersection of faith, freedom, and controversy. To some, he was a beacon of conviction. To others, a disruptor of the status quo. But whether you agree with him or not, Charlie Kirk left an imprint, a reminder that one voice, spoken with fire, can echo across a nation.
I'm outside today at the park and just enjoying nature, reflecting on life and seeing where the world is at today, our world is at today. And this is usually not my type of content, but I believe, if you try to create, sometimes you have to create across the board. You have to spread your voice, about what you believe, things you believe in. And I'm at the park, so it's a public space, so there's a lot of people. There's going to be a lot of people walking around, running. I just can't, show it because people deserve their privacy. But as you already know, it's all about the murder of a father and a brother, a man of God in general. And whether I disagree or agree with him, whether I followed him or not, regardless of whatever he said, my belief is at the end of the day, that was a family man. That was someone who had kids, who had a wife, people who he inspired. And unfortunately, he was just unalived because of his beliefs. Hello, how y'all doing today?
Good. How are
Good,
you?
good, doing good. Um, well, like I said, we're in a public space, so we have to respect people's space as well. But he was all the things I just mentioned, and some people highly disagree with me and pick and choose what they think or they thought about him as a person. But like I said, you know, it's always between good and evil. You have to choose, especially as a believer, especially as a Christian, you have to pick. And regardless of what we think about him, I always end up, never choosing evil. I never celebrate another person dying. And we have to think about his family, you know, and try to sympathize with them because it was very tragic. It was very bad. It was a nasty experience for them to see something they didn't sign up for. You know, his kids are gonna be traumatized probably for the rest of their lives. Seeing your dad get murdered in front of thousands of people, your wife, I can't imagine because I just can't imagine, how it feels, what it feels like. But it's just unfortunate because the world hasn't or doesn't sympathize enough, which makes me question our humanity as people. What is happening? I mean, we're in America and America is a crazy place. There's more than 500 cultures and beliefs and whatever. But at the end of the day, I thought we all looked at ourselves as humans, not animals. It can be, I understand people that, to the extreme are happy about, his passing. Some claim he preached hate, he was a racist, a bigot, whatever generational words they use or buzzwords they use. Um, all those things could be true, or they are true, or they could be false. By the end of the day, I believe that someone should never lose their life because of something they believe in. You know, people killing people in other parts of the world because of what they believe in. And that happened in America, the land where freedom of speech is in the amendment. It's crazy. But all of this is not even like the main topic or the main thing that bothers my heart. It's just how as a people we have lost or we are desensitized to hello how as a people we are desensitized, or we have become, desensitized to human feelings and relations. I come from a place where there's 99% people that look like me, and we are divided by language, still traditional languages, food, the way we dress, traditional. We're divided by a lot. But at the end of the day, we still try to look at ourselves as a unit. And personally, I was never aware about um, anything that had to do with racism. I was never aware. I mean, I was aware, but it wasn't something that I walked around with in my head. Because we do experience it, and if you're ignorant to it, you don't even realize that's what you're experiencing. But I'll never generalize and say, hey, everyone is like this or like that. Because I walk on the earth, and I personally look at everyone as a brother and sister, black, white, Chinese, Asian, yeah, Indian, whatever you are, goat, dog, regardless of what you are, unless you're a threat to my life, then I have to defend myself. But I never thought we'd come to a point as people, as humans, as upper class humans to animals, to the wild animals and the domestics, where we celebrate the murder of another person. If you come across this video, I just want to implore your conscience, to think deeply, to question yourself, judge yourself, before you do certain things. At the end of the day, whatever we think, whatever we believe, it's always going to be different. But we are going to all be judged at some point by the one and almighty living God. And so myself, like Jesus, I try as much as possible not to judge people based off their beliefs and based off their race, where they're from, or based off anything that differentiates them from me. I think those differences kind of like is the beauty of why we're all humans. Hello again. You want to be in the video?
Thank you for the offer.
No problem.
I might say something totally inappropriate regarding this house because it pisses me off.
It's a free world.
It is a free world, and it's nice that I have, at this point in my life, the opportunity for free speech. But I have had to curb what I wanted to say because now they're saying they're watching their stuff online.
That's true. Yeah, I don't want to push the video too long, and I hope people get what I'm saying. You don't have to agree with me. At the end of the day, we'll all be judged, and I believe we don't have the power to judge people or to celebrate the death or the murder of life, the same life we all pray to God for every day. The same life we all beg God to forgive us. We all beg God for mercy. We all need help from other people. It's the same life that was lost. It's the same life that was taken away because of what he believed in. And before I end the video, I am from Cameroon, as you can see. Rest in peace, Mark Vivian Foué. Absolute baller. But I've gotten to understand and accept that I can divide myself from other humans. I always try to unite. I always try to unite. And I'm not with the left, I'm not with the right. I'm not with black, white. I'm not with Asian, I'm not with Chinese, I'm not with Indian. I'm not with Africans. I'm with humans. Because when Jesus was nailed to the cross, he sacrificed himself for all of us. And we are billions in the world today. But I hope you guys have a blessed day, a blessed morning, night, week, weekend, and be safe out there, you know. Let's try to do good. And I'll leave you guys with this Bible quote.
For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Christ, so that each of us may receive what is due us for the things done while in the body, whether good or bad. 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 10.
But as always, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.